Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Lovely to see you all back here this morning. We've had a very wet week. I hope you haven't grown webbed feet. I'm very, very thankful that I have a four-wheel drive with a snorkel. I actually thought I might have needed that to get home from work yesterday. So I hope everybody is okay. If you've got any problems at home, let us know that we can all jump in and help you out. If you've got anything to do with flooding or anything, please let us know, guys. Okay, the Light newspaper, the next edition, 17, should be out shortly. I have heaps of 16 still available. If you're wanting some, please come and collect. Help to get them out there before the new edition arrives. And I will let you know, we'll also post on Worldwide Rally for Freedom when issue 17 comes out, so you can pop along and grab one of those. We've got Rhonda here today. If I could hand over to Rhonda.
Morning, everybody. Thank you for coming, and thank you for the apologies that I've received from a lot of our people because of the weather. They've been unable to get into the meeting this morning, but hopefully they'll keep safe and we'll get them back in next week. But looking at the sky, we've been hit with another few chemtrails, so maybe this rain's going to just keep coming. So we need our sunshine, governments, local government, federal, state, anybody out there, we need our sunshine. Please stop chemtrailing our skies. We need some break from this manipulated weather, so people get on board and start complaining. I'm just going to speak about something that was brought up to us last week about a little country town called Toobeah that's down on the Queensland-New South Wales border in Queensland, but near the border there near Goondiwindi. It's a small town, and it's actually lost its, well, the publican there has actually lost his battle to stop a secret land transfer deal to an Aboriginal group there, but he's actually not going to take it lying down. He's going to take the battle as far as he can. But it's just an interesting story because I've been looking into both sides of the story, and he's vowed to continue the fight against the Aboriginal Land Act transfers happening across the state. It's not the only town that it's been happening to. So he's been campaigning to prevent the town reserve, the reserve in the town, from being given to the Bagamble, and I apologise if I'm not pronouncing that properly, the Bagamble Native Title Aboriginal Corporation. The corporation sought that the 210 hectare site under the Aboriginal Land Act, which allows unallocated state land to be given to First Nation groups as inalienable freehold. So the publican there railed against the transfer, which he claimed would result in 95% of the town and $2 million worth of land being given away and restricted access forced upon the people of the town. Of course, this statement was disputed by the Bagamble people, who said the reserve represented less than 1% of the Toobeah district and was only meant to be used for travelling stock and camping anyway, this reserve. They also pledged to preserve a town water easement and rodeo grounds access on the reserve, on which it plans to build an eco-cultural attraction. But land title records reveal that the site was transferred to the Bagamble Native Title Group late last month after the state government revoked the Goondiwindi Regional Council's 118-year-old trusteeship of the reserve. And this is in question whether they can do that or not. The publican slammed the Goondiwindi Mayor and the state LNP President, Lawrence Springborg's tacit support of the land transfer, and he said the whole process was fairly, his words, pretty shit. There's only one way that they win this, and that's Springborg, the council, did this to us. The state government, the council, they haven't backed up one thing. They haven't even proven that the trusteeship of the council for the reserve can be taken away. The council gave it up. You can't take away trusteeship without talking to the community about it. These Aboriginal land transfers have been happening in Queensland since 1991, so they're not new. Earlier this year, the state government revealed that Aboriginal corporations and groups were seeking freehold land transfers in 15 towns across Queensland, from Mount Isa and Maryborough through to the tiny Cloncurry Shire township of Duchess, which is out there in the west past Mount Isa, or near Mount Isa, whose population is only 53 people. The government also said that 6.7 million hectares of land, or 3.93% of the state, had been transferred under the Aboriginal Land Act or Torres Strait Islander Land Act since 1991, including 11 parcels of land transferred just in 2023-24. So it's a very interesting story, and one we're following very closely, and we're going to be looking into it for other reasons. We'll talk about that later. We'll leave that there, and we'll be following that. We'll bring more to you as we progress. Council meetings. We went to the council meeting last week. It was very interesting again. I really encourage all of you and you people out there in the Mackay region to attend these meetings. They're very interesting. You find out a lot of things that you're not aware of, and a lot of things that are coming up in the council's proceedings. They meet every fourth Wednesday of the month at the council chambers, and it starts at 10 o'clock, so you have to be there about 9:45 to sign in. There's a bit of protocol there. If you wish to speak in the public participation period process, you need to give them 7 days notice in writing about the subject you are speaking on, and proof that you've tried elsewhere to find your answers. And then only will they decide whether you'll be allowed to speak at this public participation process at the council meeting. So that's what you've got to do if you wish to speak at it. And it's live streamed to the public, which is awesome, so that people out in the region can find out what's being spoken about by the people in the region. So on Wednesday, we had some members of the Midpoint Progress Association speaking about no maintenance being done in their town, in their little area, community. They've had sand washed away there from back as far as Cyclone Debbie that hasn't been attended to. They've been having other issues down there, and they've reached out to the council to get some help on this matter. So straight away, Tina and I looked at each other and managed retreat. One of the old policies, well, not old policies, it's a current one, but we haven't spoken about it for a while. So I'm just going to bring up a little bit about managed retreat today to refresh your memories. So the Mackay, and this is available on the Mackay Regional Council's website. You can research it for yourself. I'm not making it up. The Mackay Regional Council is preparing to move communities, infrastructure and roads away from certain high-risk coastal areas due to the model dangers of erosion, storm tide inundation and sea level rises. Hear what I'm saying? On the 13th of December 2023, the Council announced the adoption of its new Mackay Coast, Our Future Coastal Hazards Adaptation Study, which includes a managed retreat plan for targeted areas. The CHAS assigns a risk profile assessment to each of Mackay's coastal sub-regions from the present day to 2100, 75 years ahead of us. According to the Council, if the coastal hazard risk profile is very high and active mitigation becomes infeasible, a strategic decision may be made to commence managed retreat. The Council specifically identifies 6 coastal areas where a long-term, defined as 20 years, long-term policy of managed retreat is already in place. And these are the 6 communities: Midpoint, Slade Point, Town and Far Beach, Bakers Creek, Dunrock and Armstrong Beach. I'll repeat them for the people out there in the region listening to this. The 6 coastal areas where a long-term managed retreat is already in place are Midpoint, Slade Point, Town and Far Beach, Bakers Creek, Dunrock and Armstrong Beach. Other high-risk areas include St Helens Beach, Seaforth, Halliday Bay, Ball Bay and Cape Hillsborough. So according to the minutes of the meeting on the 13th of December, the Council is to review future development and infrastructure servicing options for areas subject to the 2100 HAT. The Council is clearly willing to adopt increasingly restrictive policies as triggers for retreat, including the gradual withdrawal of access, services and maintenance. You know what I'm saying? Maintenance. These coastal communities need to realise that they are part of this plan already. It's not for another 75 years' time. It's already in place. Adopting such a strategy, the minutes state that provides the first clear signal that Council will not actively plan for or commit to the protection of certain areas within some coastal communities. So Midpoint, Progress Association and others, you need to get onto this very quickly because the signs and signals are already there. As the Council acknowledges, this has the potential to be received negatively by those affected communities and property owners. Well, what about that? Forcing people to leave their homes and communities because of something that may or may not happen in 100 years' time or 75 years' time is absurd. At the very least, the Council should wait 20 years to test the validity of its hypotheses before enacting such a drastic policy. Managed retreat should only be used as a measure of last resort, particularly where no detailed retreat plan, cost-benefit analysis or compensation package has been provided to the residents of these communities. So, but it seems the Build Back Better crowd are in a bit of a hurry. So, you progress associations out there, you need to come along and find out more. Go to the Council meeting, go to the Council, look up their website, all the information is there. But you need to act for yourselves as a group or individuals, whatever. You need to act on this now, don't leave it till it's too late. That's the managed retreat policy of the Mackay Regional Council. Just a light-hearted comment here. Do you all remember Michael Sims, it might have been, Sims, from MMAMV Australia Millions March. He went to Canberra, he spoke out because his son was really seriously affected by the vaccinations, and he's very outspoken about all vaccinations now. Well, he's just celebrated 4 years on Facebook. He actually got up to about 80,000 followers when Facebook closed him down, and he restarted another page, and he has now 57,000 followers. So that's amazing for one man, and his group of helpers. We've met Michael. We've helped him here and encouraged him to come back, but he's still going strong. So there you go. Just goes to show what can be done. I just wanted to tell you a story too about Teen. I took her to the airport the other day, and she doesn't like going through the magnetic field at the airport entry place there. No, none of us do. It's not good for you. It's the rays aren't good for your health, and particularly with Teen's health issues, she doesn't want to go through there. She asks to be patted down, and it's always an issue. But anyway, she was speaking to a gentleman out there that actually used to work at security at airports, and he said it's all a farce anyway, it's a scam. And as they were speaking, this lady in like a Muslim lady walked through with her outfit on, and she went through the magnetic thing, and alarms went off everywhere, but she wasn't even pulled up. She was left to go through. So that's amazing. The team saw it with her own eyes, and it just begs the question why this is happening when everybody has to go through this ridiculous process every time you go to get onto an aeroplane. And some airports don't do it, and then you get to another one and they do it. There's no consistency with it. So it's just one more form of control that they put on people, and irregardless of your own individual health reasons or beliefs. You've got no say. You have to do it or you don't get on your plane. So it's as simple as that. Don't forget, come down and be with us on 10 o'clock every Saturday morning at Blue Water Quay. Should the weather affect this, we always put a notice out on our Facebook and social media pages to let you know what we're doing and where we're going and what's happening. So come along and join us. We're opening our arms to everybody. Thank you.